the National Football League on EA Sports. And our focus is on Amari Cooper. He was a machine for them last week with several touchdowns on top of triple digits receiving. It's the Browns and the Cards, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Cleveland Browns Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We're all set to go as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And last week, they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
And sometimes when you're in the middle of a losing streak, being on the road is exactly what you want. You can only depend on each other. Let's see if they can use that as fuel in this ball game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Cardinals offense set to take over for the first time, and they are piloted by their 5th-year quarterback, 2-time Pro Bowler as well, Kyler Murray.
Well, the silver lining from last week, he played phenomenally, kept the ball clean, and led them to the end zone several times. You know these NFL quarterbacks, though, they trade away all those touchdowns if it meant getting the win. That's his focus this week.
First carry for James Conner. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And, CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. Well, what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be the...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. We look at this Browns defense. Well, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. Well, you know it's never easy to get Kyler Murray down to the ground, and to do it with a sack on their first drive, what a great tone setter defensively.
Oh, and no one's celebrating more than the defensive coordinator, because that's all he's preached all week long. Keep him hemmed in. Don't let him get into the open field and create big plays with his feet. To get him down in the pocket early, that's got to feel great for them.
The Oklahoma product Baker Mayfield trotting out there now with the rest of this Browns offense.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 13 carries, 66 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Now the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Here's 3rd and a few inches. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Mayfield. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 39. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Mayfield to throw it. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17. Into the red zone, first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And it's caught. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. We're scoreless after 1. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. That time, a 9-play drive. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. 1-7, their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now, this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
Right back to Connor here on first. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun, Murray. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Again, they'll throw with Murray. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now Murray throwing on second down. A good throw here, finding Pascal. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Murray again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Murray. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense. No.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
Automatic 1st down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Murray. Touchdown! Trey McBride, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cards are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown reception from Trey McBride. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mayfield down. Right back to Cooper, and he got him again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Mayfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Prater's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Ravens still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who have the lead in that one at halftime. Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson hook it up on a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home in Acrisure Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry, over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland, and to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. He's still on his feet. Still going. They can't stop him. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns have retaken a third quarter lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's counter. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. Murray going to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Kareem Hunt, touchdown, Browns. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Browns are able to add on to that lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Here's Murray. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Murray again. This is Connor.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona first. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter.
A quick throw there is incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
From the gun, again to Connor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Shotgun now from Murray. Fighting through pressure, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Dalvin Tomlinson able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss.
Fourth down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now.
He hit us first, this one from 40 yards out. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And the football going back over down to the Cleveland Browns. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
They begin this drive with Chubb. Broken tackle. Shreds him with his stiff arm. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 55 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They go up the middle with Chubb. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is caught at the 8. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, 36 yards. And the Browns are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is up to 15 now. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down by 15. 2:12 to play. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down. Murray now on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
To throw is Murray.
And he couldn't get that one to his man. Short of him, it's low and incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. Here it is, 4th and inches.
Now Murray's got to have this one. And it is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Murray to air it out again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, there's a time and a place for everything. Down 2 scores late in the 4th. I get it. Now is the time to throw it downfield, but that one might just write an end to this ball game.
Yeah, I hear all the time how critical I am of play calls. Not in this situation. No other choice, really. Look at the clock. Look at the scoreboard. Had to press it and take a chance.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he will have the Browns first down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory. Trouble trying the middle here. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Handoff up the middle. Hunt. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Mayfield on play action. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. Hopkins' kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw, it's Murray. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. This is picked up by the Browns. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Jordan Akins, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are closing in on a 6-2 start as they extend this fourth quarter advantage. And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. Now, some may have run out the clock in that scenario, but they wanted to put their foot on the gas, get one more touchdown, and they did just that.
Well, partner, I would say the traditionalists not overly excited about that score. They'd like to see the game played a little bit differently. But what you can't argue with is their execution of that play, because it played out exactly as it was drawn up. It almost would have been a shame not to finish with such a well-run play.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because
Murray fighting, lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Browns,
they climb to 6-2 on the year as they close in on the midpoint of this 17-game schedule.
and they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Arizona, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
now.